Hey y'all, what's up? I have two things to say about this episode. Keep your intentions clear and stop moving too fast. Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Tom Mizzle. You're watching my channel, Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of MTV CATFISH Season 8, Episode 62, Nick and England. This episode, to be honest, y'all, I was sitting here watching this episode, eating my snacks. It was like, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? They didn't give me nothing. And I'm sorry, it didn't really give me anything. So, but I'm still gonna give you a review. That's what it is. And y'all let me know how y'all feel. All right, so Nick and England, a gay relationship couple. There's a gay relationship kind of scenario. So let's get into it. So Nick is 25 years old in Pennsylvania, and he met a guy named England who's 28 years old on the app, a dating app called Grindr. Grindr, if you don't know, is a gay app that's usually meant for hookup, but you can make it how you want to make it. Whoever you meet online, not necessarily always you're going to have a hookup with. Sometimes people is like you go on relationship. Some people you go on relationship with. Some people you will hook up. Some people you will have sex with. Some people may have group settings with. Some people you might just have a platonic relationship. They're like, I'm gonna say I'm gay myself, and I have that app myself. It is what it is. And most of the time, I'm just still talking. I haven't been really meeting a lot of people on the app like that. So it is what it is. And you really do have to let your intentions clear. That's why I mentioned in the beginning of this video. State your intentions very clearly, and also act upon those intentions and what you're saying. Don't be contradictory and don't be misleading. And that's the issue that this episode was. The guy, England, at some point, I feel like he was not being clear on what his intentions were. But I think as well, Nick, I feel like you do too fast and you go into it. You dig too deep into what he's saying and everything. And slow it down and try to really get to go everything. It's not forced into the relationship, that part, aspect. So they met on a dating app. Yeah. And Nick was looking for a relationship. England said he was also looking for a relationship. So they have been talking from there. And it's basically has been like only a month or two. So during the month span, he didn't have no picture on his profile, which is usually like I hate that because I said if you could see me, I should be able to see you. Period. But some people don't have that. So it's like some people will message you and then send a picture afterwards. So it is what it is. You get a people better than without. You wanted to say hi, say hey, whatever, go and go from there. It's whoever how you want to do it. So they changed numbers and they've been texting back and forth. After a while, they haven't been texting a lot. They've been on the phone having a lot of phone conversations. They have never met and they never video chat. So at the time when they try to meet, and they will set up for a meeting. And mind you, at this time, they both in the same area. They both was in Pennsylvania, so in the same city, Greensburg, Pennsylvania. So it's like, how come y'all both in the same area and you not meeting each other? It is a small town, so but so big, so it's people might know each other. So you can run into each other, and it's like you never meet. So at the time, Nick told us that England said he has the cleaning services and everything. He busy a lot, so he couldn't meet. So at that time, when they posted me, he got a ghosted from him. I said, technically, you can't really get ghosted. I mean, you can. If you've been talking to someone, y'all been talking and have a phone conversation mostly every day, and all of a sudden they just stop. That's kind of like a ghosting. Yes, that's true. So one time they supposed to meet, he got stood up, he got ghosted, and then he said he had a client that he had to go to. It is an elderly woman, and most of his clients are elderly women. So they was applying. It's like when he thought it was kind of weird. Oh, was it you got a client and everything, and it's elderly woman, and you drink wine and stuff like that. And you told me you had the cleaning service. So what kind of cleaning service with an elderly woman? They thought it was weird. So they kind of implied that he may did some sexual favors with these clients and do a lot of other things, or it could be also a sugar baby. And everything. So Nick asked him that, "Are you a sugar baby? Like, let me know you're a sugar baby or not." And he said, "Nah, I'm not no sugar baby or stuff like that going on." Yada yada yada. So we figured out why you so hell bent on it, because he's saying a relationship and everything, and a lot of people might say what you want to hear. So when you came out first and saying that, oh, you want a relationship, they're gonna say, oh, me too. Even though 9 out of 10 times they don't even look for one. They just saying this to say it. That's what I say, constant conversations and meetups and phone conversations. Like you'll be talking every day, and yes, the phone conversation could be something, but this phone conversation is serious enough to know that you could gauge that he is in a serious relationship. Now, he's saying that, oh, he's not the type of person who like to talk to people more than one person at the same time. But I said, why you put all your eggs in one basket when you're not really clear at who he is, especially if he ghosted you or he kind of stood you up and y'all never video chat or never met in person. So why are you putting your emphasis in trying to pursue something with someone who really clearly not showing you what it takes to be in a relationship? It's really not. So he told us that how he had his dad passed away last year. He was going through a lot of emotional hurt because of the past, and England was there for him, and they talk, and he don't really open up to people. And I said, if you really don't open up to people, well, why make England the person you open up to? What was the conversation that led you to believe that you could kind of drop your guard and tell him some personal business like that? When 1 for 2, I'm not telling somebody who I'm talking on going about personal business. When the conversations on there and everything is really kind of surface level, kept us cute, because the deepest conversation comes when we meet each other. If we're just talking on the phone and everything, we have never met, you're not getting much out of it. You just get like a simple, what my life is going through, how I feeling, how my day is going, what bothered me and everything, but not something that's so deep that you need to know, because that's something served for someone who really is constantly pursuing. So, it's that back there. So that, and then they talk about past relationships, and I think he said England mentioned something that he just got broke up with someone that he was talking to and everything was an ex. That's that. It was a bad breakup. Now, Nick told us that he had been in an abusive relationship. Well, if those who've been following my channel, y'all know how I feel about abusive relationships. I do not rock with that. I do not subscribe to no DV. I don't care for that. I grew up watching that, and it's not something I like, and that's not something I advocate for. I don't care for that. I don't care what type of person you are, how good you are, but you're not abusing me in any way, shape, or form. Physical, verbal, emotional, spiritual, financial, any type of abuse where you trying to stifle someone else or put harm to someone else to big yourself up, I'm not there for that. So he been in a 3-year relationship, it was an abusive relationship, and to the point that the guy got dangerous and he kind of stabbed him. I was like, oh my gosh. So he said from there, he's not someone who moved too quickly and dived into so quickly. But I'll say, hey, you learn your lesson, so you are careful. But me would say, oh, if you careful, it sounds like you're not careful, because if you was going through something like that, how come you so hard full-heartedly diving in with this guy after a month or two? That don't seem like you're careful at all. It seems like you just put all your eggs in one basket because he's in an emotional state. It's like he's vulnerable. Because he's vulnerable, anything that may seem okay, he will gravitate to. So I see why he probably pushed so fast. But I was like, when I'm listening to him, I would say, you're not moving carefully. And haven't learned your lesson. It seems like you're doing the same thing. So calm down and just feel things out. But because you've gone through a lot of hurt, you kind of drop a lot of your guard that you had and just went with it, went with faith. And it's fine, but don't sit here act like you are careful and saying that this you know just going on, but you actually are really heads over heel for someone who's not really showing a consistency, or at least meet with you. So that was that. They moved on the investigation. They checked the Facebook page and they saw something about he looked like it could be corporate. He looked like it could be a lawyer because at this point, it doesn't necessarily mean that he couldn't still do cleaning services. It is that he's standing next to other people who could most likely be in the corporate world. So is he lying in his profession, or is he really a lawyer where he's not, or if he didn't, why he didn't state this? So that's that. Then they did a photo search and no hits. They did a phone search and one of the phone numbers came up to this person named Genevieve. They ain't go much about that. So then they searched his name, England Gatewood, and it came up to an Instagram page. It seemed like it was a very legit page. It was very active at the time, but it was the last post was 2014. So it was like, okay, so this could be really legit him, or someone that's using his stuff, pictures, to catfish Nick. So they saw a lady named Katie Kate respond. It's like that. They messaged Katie Kate. She responded back and she said, yes, I know England around the time. We went to high school something together and we cool. And at that time, I didn't really have any contact from since then. And that's it. So they went to school together. And since then, 2014, there was no contact. But she did confirm that that was his page, Instagram page. So I said, cool. That was that. And then they checked his Gateway Services company, and it's legit. It has reviews on it. It has place you can put your quote and request in, and that's what it was. And it seemed like a legit website. So he probably could do. He probably has a really reliable cleaning services. So they was like, okay, they need the time to talk to Nick. Let's talk to Nick and see what's his angle, what he got to say. Keep him up to date of what they was investigating on. So they told him everything, all that stuff I discussed y'all about the pictures, about the lawyer, about the friend in the picture. They searched his profile or pin eyes, and they came in a match. And it seemed like this guy working in a law firm. So we're gonna see if he's really actually is a lawyer, something like that, or a paralegal, and he even tell you what's going on. So they told him all that, and it was like, okay, so out of all the stuff I told you, it could be like he is legit. Everything I told you seemed like he's legit. It could be him, or it could be someone else. But if it is him, why the gymnastics? Why not meeting you face to face? Well, what's going on? Like, what's up? If it seemed like everything seemed like it's this person, and all roads lead to that it's a real person. This is really actually is England. Why are you not meeting up with you and everything? So they said Nick reach out to him. So then Nick reached out to him and they talk on the phone. He said, listen, I'm busy and everything. What's going on? Like, so I can't have the time. He said, no, because it's like we're trying to meet each other. It's been 2 months. You can dodge me. Like, it's time to face. I need some answers. He said, oh, got time. He said, okay, let's meet next week. And then Nick will come open up his mouth and say, oh, I got Neve and Kamie here. You want to talk to them? It's like that. He said, what? Neve and Kamie. So Neve's talking on the phone, and he said, Neve, what's going on? Why you got them involved? And that day, so Neve started talking. He said, listen, I'm not in a thicket area, Neve. Click. I said, oh, child. Click on the phone with him. So he got upset. And he said, why he gets so defensive like that? Because, like, I said, maybe because you ambush him. I mean, you kind of ambush him and say, oh, Neve and Kamie's here. You could have said that when you first started the phone call. But, hey. But then again, I said, why the hell you have to tell them Neve and Kamie is there in the first place? Like, you just blew up the whole cover. You could have had more conversation with him and get him on talking. But he hung up the phone. So they say, you know what? If he has a cleaner services and he seems like he's legit, let's kind of fake request one from him and maybe see he will come. If he's not bluffing, he probably will. If it's not fake, he probably will respond to it. So they made up a fake name. Kamie became Ashley. They created a text app phone, a text app phone, and they did that, and they did some services, a party and everything, and emergency cleaning services. He responded back, and he said, "Yes, I can meet you in 2 hours." And I said, "Oh my gosh!" And then Key, what the hell? Kamie put her freaking actors there. She said, "Oh my gosh, I just need some help and everything because it's like crazy. I got a party going on. I need this place to be spotless clean for the party." He said, "Okay, I can come in for 2 hours." And it is 2 hours. So I said, "All right." So he is in the area. Remember, he said he was not in the area when Neve talked to him on the phone, and he cursed out Neve. And then when Kamie did that fake quote thing, he said, "Oh, I could come around in 2 hours." So basically, he was around. All right, so they set up a place in a different location, different. They can't have him in a Nick place, so they had a separate location. They gave him the address. They came there. They had the crew and Nick and Kamie all in the garage, and while he pulled up, so Neve came to the door and he said, "What's up?" But the first they didn't show his face. They showed his legs, the body, the torso down, and they was like, "What's up? What's going on?" "Yeah, I know. I wish we did this way, and I wish we had to do this way, but they just had to give a point to get you to meet Nick." So he agreed to meet Nick, and they started talking. And basically, all they had a conversation was about, listen, at that time, I wasn't really too serious. I just said it, but I wasn't serious about saying it because I was actually talking to someone I was talking to at the same time. So it was juggling, and that person was TJ, and then I told you about that. He said, "Oh, so the ex you told me it was not really your ex." He said, "Yeah, it's going on and off." So while there was downtime, I was talking to you, and I was trying to figure that thing out with him. So it was a lot. So long story short, he wasn't really serious about a relationship. He was trying to see how things go and we could be friends, and I had no problem with that. So it seemed like he was wanting to be a friends with benefits type of thing, or an F buddy, basically. Friends with benefits or fuck buddy. That's what he was thinking about. So they said, "Let's be clear," and he said, "That's that," and it's nothing go forward. So they would say he's busy and everything. So what are you trying to apply? Because they didn't talk about the client service, because it was like, yes, he was going through a lot. He was doing the cleaning service, and he didn't have time and stuff like that. And that's that. And he said you be kind of hounding him and begging for his attention when you know I don't have the time. I really is flourishing in my business. It seems like he does sleep his business, because he's like always in that. When he dressed like he business mode, like he always in that business mode. So I say it is only business. It is a lot of work running your own self when you do things yourself and you don't have a staff and everything. It's your own company. If you well known and you well liked, and people coming for you, yes, you're gonna have a busy schedule. But then you're juggling other people you're talking to. So yes, you may not have the time, or you may not think anything too serious of it. So they kind of like offended him by implying that he might be some sugar baby, or he did some sexual favors to the client. So he got upset. He said, "No, what? I'm out of here. I'm done." He said, "What we doing here?" So he got upset, and they was like, "Oh, see, you see what I'm saying?" I said, "Listen, whatever, Nick. Because at the end of the day, you was not that innocent, because you was moving too damn quickly. You should have calmed down and read the signs and realize that you read too deeply into what he was saying, because he is not acting upon what he has been saying. So you should have just fall back a little bit and not be too headstrong into pursuing this." So part of you was like, you was eager for this to happen, right? Because you want to be loved, or you want to be in a relationship, period. So that stopped. So they say, "You know what? Let's give him another chance, because this is how it is. Let's sit at a different location." They sit down. He agreed. And Nick told us that, "Listen, we talked last night." He said, "What happened?" So basically, he said he came up being sexual. I said I was bound to happen, because he could be like, he wasn't showing any signs that he was trying to pursue anything. So obviously, he was trying to play it on just to see what to gauge you and see if you was gonna go forward and give it up or have sex. But since he wasn't really interested in having sex, or that sex talk wasn't happening, maybe he was falling back and trying to see what's going on with TJ and see what's got going on, and see if you will be willing to do us friends with benefits. And he said he can't catch feelings with someone just by talking. He had sex with them. And I said, oh, he's playing you. And I was like, listen, yeah. But you could catch feelings by talking to someone, like really, especially that connection. It is not surface level, but if your mind is about sex, be clear about that. If that's what you want. So you let it out of the line. He said, you know what, maybe we should not be talking to each other right now because maybe it's not the good thing. Because we want something different. You want a relationship, I'm not there at that point. I'm not here. I'm too busy. And at the same time, I can't really force the relationship. I just want to have fun, basically. That's what it is. So they're in two different periods in their life. And that's that. I think he reached out to Nick one time and then Nick blocked him. And Nick said he has a boyfriend now. And he also met his boyfriend in Grindr. They went out. They went to movies and stuff like that. And it was only like 2 months later. So I was like, okay. Even this kind of relationship with this new boyfriend is fast. I mean, if I'm the only one, because I was like, if you say you're careful, yes, it's nice you and boyfriend now, but dang, you got this guy in 2 months and you in a relationship with someone you got a boyfriend. Yeah, that's what. More power to it. If he's happy and everything else, but I just want Nick to know that don't jump into a relationship with people just because they give you interest. Like work on that. So the fact that it's a boyfriend, and when the 2 month time span, just how you were trying to move fast with this last one, I don't know. But that was his update. And England update is that he focused on himself, he focused on his business, and maybe he realized that maybe he should be his attention should be more clear. And that's be misleading. And realized that's not something he should have done. And that's it. But that was the episode, y'all. Please subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, and share my video. Better yet, let me look at my thing, y'all. I'll show you. There you go. Please follow me on my social media platform. My Instagram is Mr. Grown. My Twitter is Mizzle_Grown. My Discord, the link is down below in the description box. I do the watch alongs, I do talk, discussions, and everything. I'm very active for all these platforms. And also, lastly, hit my subscribe button on Mizzle 14 and hit that notification bell, or so you'll be notified for all my videos. Hope you enjoy this content. Tell me how y'all feel, and I'll talk to y'all later.